YouTube, what's going on? It's juangottiwft here. We another Washington Commanders video, and in today's video, I'm coming over here to talk about the Washington Commanders trading back and the possible trade scenarios that I think would make sense and what would be the best for us if we were to trade back. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure you go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL, or in this case our Washington Commanders. We're ever so close to 4,000 subscribers, so hit that subscribe button again if you haven't already. Let's get straight into today's video. So before we even get into the trade talk, I guess you would say, we gotta talk about Joey Slye. So a couple days ago, the Commanders decided to re-up on kicker Joey Slye, and I'm actually happy about this move because it felt like we had a kicker we could depend on. Now, in my opinion, Joey Slye is still up in the air because we didn't see him for a long period of time. Remember, he came here, he was good, then he got hurt in the Seattle game, and then we had to go through the whole Chris Blewett thing and the whole Brian Johnson thing, and then he came back, and he was solid. But again, at least for me, you may be sold on him. I'm happy he's back because it felt like we had a kicker we can depend on. But again, I'm not sold on him yet just because I haven't seen him for I wouldn't even have to see him for a whole season, but at least, 10 games, I guess you would say. I just want to see more of Joey Slye, but I am excited about the re-signing because I felt like he was a kicker we could finally depend on, but I just want to see him be more consistent as far as at least being out there, because, he got hurt, so, again, I'm excited about the move, and shout out to Joey Slye, man, and what a beard, right? But now let's get into the trade talk that we came here for. So let's first address, should the Washington Commanders trade back? So now, headed into this year's draft, we only have 6 picks considering the Carson Wentz trade. We had to give up some draft capital to acquire Carson Wentz. So now we only have 6 picks. We don't have a 4th round pick. We don't have a 3rd round pick. And we possibly don't have another one the following year, depending on how Carson Wentz performs. That pick can turn into a 2nd. Blah, 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 right? I think the Washington Commanders should at least attempt to trade back. Here's why. You're going to get so much more capital back from the Carson Wentz deal for one of these teams that want to trade up. I think they should at least explore the option to trade back instead of just being naive and just say, oh, we're set at 11, we're going to pick someone at 11, and that's going to be it. I think if a team like Pittsburgh wants to come up from 20 because they want a quarterback to 11, I think we may do that. Because I think if we trade back to 20, we still could get one of these receivers. Again, this receiver class is loaded. I would love Chris Olave, but if he's taken, wouldn't mind having a Garrett Wilson. Wouldn't mind settling for a Traylon Burks. Wouldn't mind having a Drake London. This class is loaded. So just because we trade out of 11, go back to 20, we still can get another receiver that's going to be really good. I think Pittsburgh would be the ideal trade. I think for trading back with Pittsburgh, I would want, obviously, give us 20. We're swapping 1st round picks. This year's 2nd. And maybe next year's 3rd round pick. I'll be cool. Or you give me 20 this year's your 3rd round pick, and next year's 2nd round pick. I'll be cool. I think that would be really good for both teams. I think they can come up and get possibly Malik Willis if he's still there, because I think that's the guy who they really want. Or Kenny Pickett is another guy that they've been talking about that they want too. So that could be a possible trade scenario for those. Another one was in the video yesterday. If you guys haven't checked out my mock draft that I did yesterday, go check it out. It was a trade scenario that came up. Now, I didn't do any trades in the video, but it was a trade that came up. It was with us and the LA Chargers. So we got the 17th pick from the Chargers, the 79th pick from the Chargers, and the 2023 2nd round pick from LA. And we gave up the 11th pick and the 113th pick. So that would be round 4, right? Round 4. Here you go. I think that would be a really good trade for Washington too. Now, I don't know why LA would even want to trade up. What do they need? Then they just re-signed Mike Williams, got Keenan Allen. What would they come up for? Maybe some more line help? I don't know. Maybe some defensive help, but I would like that. 1779 and 2023 second round pick for 11 and 113. I would like that. I would actually take that trade back scenario for us. Moving on to the next one was with the Texans. The Texans got the 13th pick, I want to say, from the Cleveland Browns for, I want to say, the Deshaun Watson trade. So they gave up the 13th pick and Houston's second round pick for the next year, 2023, and we gave up pick 11 and 189. Now, again, I don't know. This is just according to Pro Football Network from the mock draft I did. These are two deals that I actually would like us to do. Now, I don't know if the Texans or the Chargers would be gung-ho on doing these deals, but I think that would be really, really good for us. Again, I think the biggest reason why I would trade back is because we can recuperate a lot of the capital that we had to give up for Carson Wentz. And let's be real, it wasn't a lot, especially if Carson Wentz balls out. Who's going to care that we gave up a third-round pick this year? And who's going to care that we gave up a possible second-round pick next year if he balls out? I'm not going to care. I'm not going to care about draft picks if we're the number 1 seed in the NFC playoff picture for the number 2 seed in the NFC playoff picture. Hell, I'm not going to care if Carson Wentz takes us to a wild card. A wild card. I just want to see him do good. Because at the end of the day, we needed a quarterback, and this is the best quarterback Terry McLaurin has had since entering the league. This is the best quarterback we've had on paper since Kirk Cousins 2016. So again, we didn't give up a lot, but we only have 6 draft picks, and if we want to play on the safe side, considering the fact we don't know what Carson Wentz we're going to get, I think trading back would be smart to recuperate some of that capital. So just in case Carson Wentz flames out and you cut him after this year, because he's a 1-year rental basically. If you cut him after this year, you basically aren't losing as much because, oh yeah, you're giving up the picks in this trade to the Colts, but you basically just got all that back for trading back in this year's draft. If you follow us, I know it may sound like a lot, but it's really not a lot. So let me try to say it one more time for the people that aren't understanding. So if Carson Wentz flames out this season, you can cut him, let him go. You're giving up what you gave up in this draft or in this trade for Carson Wentz, the second or the third and a possible second, depending on how he plays. You give that up to the Colts. Again, if Carson Wentz flames out, it doesn't matter because if you trade back, you can recuperate some of that draft capital to basically protect you, to make it seem like nothing really happened. Does that make sense? I think it does. I hope so. So I would at least explore the possibility of trading back. Now, on the other side of things, and those were 3 trade scenarios, we're going to look back at the draft order to see if there's other teams that I think would be a possibility of us trading up with. But what I was about to say, now on the other hand, if they were to just stay at 11 and pick somebody, I wouldn't be mad at it either because that shows you they're all in on Carson Wentz this year, which they should be. In which it's clear that they are because they want to surround this man with as much talent as possible. Again, you pick someone at 11, a receiver or something like that at 11, cool. If not, you trade back, you're still going to be able to get one of these receivers. Now, I don't know if it's going to be Olave. I don't know if it's going to be Garrett Wilson. I don't know if it's going to be one of these guys. Maybe a Jameson Williams, you take a chance on him at 20. Maybe. Because he's supposed to be the best receiver in this draft, but obviously we know he tore his ACL, so we don't know. He's not going to be ready for the start of the season. But at 20, you take a chance on him because of the upside. But again, I don't think we're in a position to draft someone based solely on upside. I think we need to draft someone that's going to come in here and produce day one. I do. So again, it's a lot, man. It's a lot to play with. Whatever they do, I'm not going to be mad at because again, we took care, at least for now, at least for this year, we took care of the biggest hole in this team, and that was quarterback. Yes, we have other needs, but it's not pressing needs. You know what I'm saying? So if we decide to get a guy at 11, okay. If we don't and we trade back, I'm fine with it because we have a quarterback right now. Like, again, I think Ron Rivera and this front office knows what they're doing. I feel like they get the idea of what they have to do to bring the most success out of Carson Wentz this year. And I'm putting my faith in them. I'm putting my faith in them. So let's look one more time at all these other possible trade scenarios with other teams that I think will be willing to trade up. I think the Saints is another team that I think would want to trade up for a quarterback. I believe they're interested in Kenny Pickett. They did just trade with the Eagles and whatnot. So now I believe they have 16 from Indianapolis through Philadelphia Eagles. They could want to come up to 11. And we could go back to 16 if they feel like a quarterback is there for the taking. We get 16 and probably a second-round pick, and maybe a third next year, or a first and a third, because we're not moving back that far. But that's another team that I would see us possibly trading back with. Maybe the Eagles come up to 11. And select a receiver, but then again, they play in our division. Do you really want to help them get better draft position to draft one of these better receivers? No, you don't. So I don't think Philly is a good trade partner, in my opinion, just because they play in our division. And I think those are the only other teams that would want to trade up. I don't think New England would want to trade up. I don't think Green Bay would want to trade up. I don't think Arizona would want to trade up. So I think those are really the only teams that are in candidates for trading up to 11. Really, Pittsburgh and New Orleans, just because they need a quarterback badly. I mean, I know New Orleans re-signed Jameis Winston, but are you really sold on Jameis Winston, especially coming off of a torn ACL? I don't know. So, yeah, man, there you have it. Let me know what you guys think about this video down below. The 3 trade scenarios that I proposed to you guys. If you're the other team, would you accept those trades? If not, let me know. What would you propose to other teams as far as a trade back scenario? And do you even want to trade back in the first place? Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section. It's been boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe. Hell to the Washington Commanders. We're on the road to 4,000 subscribers, so hit that subscribe button again if you haven't already.